You may think that your nighttime habits are harmless, maybe even comforting after a long day. But the shocking truth is that some of the things you do right before going to bed, or even while you sleep, can quietly raise your risk of a stroke overnight. As a brain doctor, I have seen patients who walked into the hospital in the morning confused, weak, or unable to speak, only to discover that the cause was not something dramatic like an accident, but simply a habit they repeated every night without realizing the danger. The reason strokes that occur at night are so devastating is because they often strike in silence. You go to bed feeling fine. Your body rests. Your mind drifts into sleep. And then, without any warning, circulation to the brain is disrupted. Hours later, you wake up, or sometimes you do not wake up at all, facing the life-changing consequences of a stroke. What makes this even more frightening is that the trigger can be something you thought was normal or even healthy, like a late meal, a glass of alcohol, or the way you position your body in bed. Medical research has shown that nighttime is one of the riskiest periods for seniors when it comes to cardiovascular health. Blood pressure naturally fluctuates. Heart rhythms can become unstable, and oxygen levels tend to dip lower during sleep. These changes alone are enough to put stress on the brain. But when you add unhealthy nighttime habits into the mix, you create the perfect storm for a stroke. The sad reality is that many people only realize this after it is too late. The good news is that awareness can save lives. If you understand which habits are quietly damaging your brain while you sleep, you can change them. You do not need expensive treatments or complicated routines. Sometimes, small adjustments at night are all it takes to protect your brain, your heart, and your independence. I want you to think about this as we go through the next parts. Each habit may seem harmless at first, but I will show you exactly how it affects your body, why it raises your stroke risk, and what you can do instead. So do not ignore this message. Before we dive in, if you have not subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. And if you find this video valuable, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 so I know how to make better content for you. Remember, your nighttime choices can either protect your brain or quietly destroy it. Tonight may be the most important time to change. Part 1. Habit 1. Late night heavy meals. One of the most dangerous habits that quietly raises stroke risk overnight is eating a heavy meal late at night. Many seniors enjoy a late dinner, a large snack before bed, or even a midnight feast, thinking it will help them sleep better. But what actually happens inside your body is far more harmful than most people realize. When you eat a heavy meal, especially one high in fat, salt, or sugar, your digestive system must work overtime. Blood is redirected to the stomach and intestines to process the food. This means less blood is available for the brain and other vital organs. In younger, healthier people, the body can usually compensate, but in seniors, whose arteries are already stiff or narrowed from years of hypertension, diabetes, or high cholesterol, this redirection of blood can quietly set the stage for stroke. Late-night eating also disrupts blood pressure control. Studies show that heavy meals before bed cause blood pressure to spike and remain elevated throughout the night. This is particularly dangerous because nighttime should be when blood pressure dips, allowing the brain and heart to rest. Without that dip, blood vessels are under continuous strain, increasing the risk of a clot breaking loose and blocking circulation to the brain. That is why strokes that occur in the early morning hours are often linked to heavy meals the night before. Another hidden danger is blood sugar imbalance. If the meal is rich in carbohydrates or sweets, blood sugar rises sharply, forcing the body to release more insulin. Hours later, blood sugar may crash, creating stress on the brain and circulation. These fluctuations damage blood vessel walls, making them more likely to rupture or form clots. Seniors with diabetes are especially vulnerable, but even those without the disease face increased risk when they overeat late at night. Patients often report feeling bloated, restless, or experiencing heartburn after a late meal. While these may seem like minor annoyances, they are red flags. Acid reflux can trigger surges in blood pressure, and lying down too soon after eating makes it harder for the body to regulate circulation. Some seniors even wake up in the night with palpitations, chest discomfort, or shortness of breath, which can be early signs that the body is struggling to cope. The safer choice is to keep evening meals light and balanced. A small portion of lean protein, vegetables, or whole grains is much easier for the body to handle. Avoid salty, fatty, or sugary foods close to bedtime. If you must eat later in the evening, keep it simple, perhaps a piece of fruit, a cup of yogurt, or a handful of nuts. Most importantly, finish eating at least 2 to 3 hours before going to bed to give your body time to digest and stabilize. Remember, what feels like a small comfort before sleep could be quietly harming your brain. A heavy late-night meal may leave you satisfied in the moment, but it increases the strain on your heart and blood vessels long after you close your eyes. If this surprised you, wait until you hear about the next habit. One that many seniors believe helps them relax, but actually raises stroke risk even more. Part 2. Habit 2. Drinking alcohol before bed. Another nighttime habit that quietly raises stroke risk is drinking alcohol before bed. Many seniors believe a glass of wine, whiskey, or beer helps them relax and fall asleep faster. While alcohol may make you feel drowsy at first, what it does to your brain, heart, and blood vessels during the night can be dangerous, even life-threatening. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. It slows brain activity and relaxes muscles, including those in the airway. This increases the risk of sleep apnea or pauses in breathing during the night. Each pause reduces oxygen supply to the brain. When oxygen levels drop repeatedly, the risk of clot formation and stroke rises significantly. Many people do not realize that alcohol worsens sleep apnea. And untreated sleep apnea is one of the leading hidden causes of nighttime strokes. Alcohol also disrupts the natural rhythm of your cardiovascular system. Normally, blood pressure dips at night to allow the heart and vessels to rest. But alcohol interferes with this pattern. Instead of dipping, blood pressure may remain elevated or fluctuate wildly. These fluctuations stress fragile arteries and increase the risk of both ischemic stroke, where a clot blocks blood flow, and hemorrhagic stroke, where a vessel bursts. Research has shown that even moderate alcohol intake in the evening can blunt the protective nighttime dip in blood pressure, particularly in older adults. Another hidden danger is alcohol's effect on blood clotting. In small amounts, alcohol may thin the blood slightly, but in larger amounts, it can make platelets more likely to clump together, creating dangerous clots. Combined with dehydration, a common effect of alcohol, blood becomes thicker, circulation slows, and the chance of a clot traveling to the brain increases. This is why strokes linked to alcohol often occur during the night or in the early hours of the morning. Patients often underestimate the impact of just one drink. I have seen seniors who enjoyed a nightly glass of wine for years suddenly face a stroke with no other obvious triggers. They were shocked to learn that alcohol had quietly been stressing their cardiovascular system every night. The risk is even higher in those who combine alcohol with medications like sleeping pills, sedatives, or blood pressure drugs. The interaction can amplify breathing problems, lower oxygen levels, and increase the risk of sudden stroke or even cardiac arrest. If you notice headaches, morning fatigue, irregular heartbeat, or nighttime awakenings after drinking, these are not harmless signs. They may indicate your brain and heart are struggling under the influence of alcohol. The safer choice is to avoid alcohol before bedtime altogether. If you do choose to drink, keep it moderate and finish at least 3 to 4 hours before sleeping. Hydrate with water. And never mix alcohol with sedatives or sleep medications. Remember, alcohol may make you feel calm in the moment, but it silently raises your stroke risk while you sleep. If this habit surprised you, wait until you hear about the next one. It has nothing to do with what you eat or drink, but simply the way you position your body in bed, and it can be just as dangerous for your brain. Part 3. Habit 3. Sleeping in the wrong position. Most people never think twice about the way they position themselves in bed. You lie down the way you have for years, close your eyes, and drift off to sleep. But the shocking truth is that certain sleeping positions can quietly increase your risk of stroke, especially overnight when your body is most vulnerable. As a brain doctor, I have seen patients who woke up with weakness, numbness, or slurred speech. Not because of a disease that developed over months or years, but because of the way they slept. One of the most dangerous positions is sleeping on your stomach. When you sleep face down, your neck is twisted to one side for hours. This can compress the carotid arteries in the neck, reducing blood flow to the brain. It also places strain on the cervical spine, which can further compromise circulation. In seniors with already narrowed arteries, even slight pressure can be enough to trigger a transient ischemic attack or stroke overnight. Another risky position is sleeping with an arm under your head. Many people find this comfortable, but the pressure on the shoulder and arm compresses blood vessels and nerves. Circulation is slowed, and clots are more likely to form in the restricted arm. Those clots can travel silently to the brain, often during the night. Patients often dismiss the morning numbness in their arm as sleeping wrong, not realizing it may be a warning sign of something far more serious. Sleeping flat on your back without proper pillow support can also be dangerous, particularly for seniors with sleep apnea. In this position, the airway is more likely to collapse, causing repeated pauses in breathing. Each pause lowers oxygen levels, stresses the cardiovascular system, and increases stroke risk. For some people, the combination of untreated sleep apnea and poor sleeping posture is the hidden cause of nighttime strokes. Even curling tightly on one side, especially the right, can restrict circulation by compressing the chest and abdominal vessels. While it may not seem harmful, spending 6 to 8 hours in this position can reduce blood flow to the brain and heart, especially in seniors with vascular disease. What makes these positions so risky is that they often feel natural and harmless. People wake up with stiffness, tingling, or headaches and think nothing of it. In reality, those symptoms may be early warnings that their brain has been deprived of oxygen during the night. The safer choice is to sleep on your left side with proper pillow support. This position promotes healthy blood flow, reduces strain on the heart, and helps keep the airway open. A supportive mattress and pillow can keep your spine aligned, further protecting circulation. If you suffer from sleep apnea, using a CPAP device as recommended by your doctor is essential. Your sleeping position may seem like a small detail, but it can have a big impact on your brain health. If this habit surprised you, wait until you hear about the next one. Many seniors rely on it to fall asleep quickly, but it can quietly increase the risk of stroke more than you think. Part 4. Habit 4. Using sedatives or sleeping pills. For many seniors, a common nightly routine includes reaching for a sedative or a sleeping pill. The hope is simple: swallow a pill, drift off faster, and finally get a good night's rest. But what most people do not realize is that these medications, while helpful in the short term, can quietly increase the risk of stroke overnight. Sedatives and sleeping pills work by calming the brain and relaxing the body. The problem is that they do not only relax your mind, they also relax the muscles that keep your airway open. This means that during sleep, the airway can partially or completely collapse, leading to sleep apnea or shallow breathing. Every time your breathing slows or pauses, oxygen levels in the blood drop. For a senior with already fragile blood vessels, even short periods of low oxygen can damage the brain and trigger clot formation. This creates the perfect environment for a stroke to occur silently during the night. Another risk is that these medications suppress the brain's natural alarm system. Normally, if oxygen drops too low, your brain signals you to wake up and breathe harder. But under the influence of sedatives, that protective mechanism is blunted. You may spend hours in a state of oxygen deprivation without ever realizing it. By morning, you could wake up confused, dizzy, or unable to move one side of your body, not knowing the stroke began while you were asleep. Sleeping pills also affect the heart. Some of them slow down heart rate or interfere with blood pressure regulation. In seniors whose circulation is already compromised, this can lead to dangerous fluctuations. A sudden drop in blood pressure during the night may reduce blood flow to the brain, while irregular heart rhythms can promote clot formation. Both of these outcomes raise the risk of stroke significantly. It is important to understand that not all sedatives carry the same level of risk. But in seniors, even low doses can have strong effects. The combination of sleeping pills with alcohol, pain medications, or other sedatives is especially dangerous. These interactions amplify breathing suppression and blood pressure instability, creating a silent but deadly risk. Patients often describe morning grogginess, headaches, or difficulty concentrating after taking sleeping pills. While many assume these are normal side effects, they may actually signal that the brain has been under stress during the night. Ignoring these signs can allow the problem to continue until a major stroke occurs. Safer alternatives do exist. Instead of relying on pills, try building a healthier bedtime routine. Keep a consistent sleep schedule. Avoid heavy meals or alcohol before bed. And make your sleeping environment cool, dark, and quiet. Light stretching, relaxation exercise, or herbal teas can promote sleep without the same risks. If medication is absolutely necessary, always use the lowest effective dose and only under close medical supervision. What may seem like a simple solution for sleepless nights can actually put your brain in danger. If this habit surprised you, wait until you hear about the next one. It involves something many people overlook, completely ignoring high blood pressure at night, and it can be one of the most dangerous choices of all. Part 5. Habit 5. Ignoring high blood pressure at night. One of the most dangerous yet overlooked habits that raises stroke risk overnight is ignoring high blood pressure. Many seniors think blood pressure is something that only matters during the day, when they are active. But the reality is that nighttime blood pressure may be even more important, and neglecting it can quietly set the stage for a devastating stroke while you sleep. Normally, blood pressure follows a natural rhythm. It rises in the morning, stays moderate during the day, and dips slightly at night while you rest. This nighttime dip gives your brain and heart a chance to recover from the day's stress. But in many seniors, especially those with hypertension, diabetes, or kidney disease, this dip does not happen. Instead, blood pressure stays high or even spikes during the night. Doctors call this non-dipping hypertension, and research shows it is strongly linked to nighttime strokes. When blood pressure remains elevated, delicate vessels in the brain are under constant strain. Imagine a thin garden hose with water pressure left on full blast all night long. Eventually, weak spots form, and the hose can burst. In the same way, persistently high nighttime blood pressure increases the risk of hemorrhagic stroke, where a vessel ruptures. On the other hand, sudden spikes can loosen plaque inside arteries, forming clots that travel to the brain and cause an ischemic stroke. What makes this risk especially dangerous is that most people have no symptoms. You may go to bed feeling fine, unaware that your blood pressure is dangerously high. By the time you wake up with a severe headache, blurred vision, or weakness in one arm or leg, the stroke may already be underway. This is why ignoring nighttime blood pressure is so deadly. It silently damages your brain while you sleep. Another problem is skipping blood pressure medication at night. Many seniors take their pills in the morning but forget or intentionally avoid evening doses, thinking it is unnecessary. This allows blood pressure to climb unchecked during the night. Others stop their medication altogether when they feel normal, not realizing that hypertension does its damage quietly and relentlessly, especially at night. Studies have shown that patients who monitor blood pressure around the clock with ambulatory devices are more likely to catch nighttime spikes. Those who treat them properly reduce their risk of stroke by up to 40%. This is powerful evidence that paying attention to blood pressure while you sleep is just as important as monitoring it during the day. The safer choice is simple. If your doctor prescribes medication, take it exactly as instructed, including evening doses if recommended. Ask about ambulatory monitoring or home devices that can track nighttime levels. Keep a log of your readings and share them at each appointment. Most importantly, never assume that feeling fine means your blood pressure is fine. Hypertension is known as the silent killer for a reason. Ignoring nighttime blood pressure is like leaving a ticking time bomb unchecked. But the good news is that with awareness and discipline, you can diffuse it. If this habit shocked you, stay with me for the next part, where I will share safer nighttime choices you can make to protect your brain and sleep with confidence. Part 6. Safer nighttime choices, how to protect your brain while you sleep. Now that we have uncovered the nighttime habits that quietly raise your risk of stroke, it is time to focus on what you can do instead. The good news is that safer choices are not complicated. And by making small adjustments, you can protect your brain, your heart, and your independence while still enjoying restful sleep. The first and most important step is maintaining a healthy evening routine. Avoid heavy meals close to bedtime. If you are hungry, choose a light snack such as fruit, yogurt, or a handful of nuts. This keeps blood pressure and blood sugar stable throughout the night. When your body is not overburdened by digestion, circulation flows more easily to the brain and other vital organs. The second step is eliminating alcohol before sleep. While a glass of wine or whiskey may feel relaxing, it disrupts blood pressure, worsens sleep apnea, and dehydrates the body. Replace alcohol with calming herbal teas like chamomile or warm water with honey. These alternatives relax the body without straining the brain's circulation. The third step is choosing the right sleeping position. Aim to sleep on your left side with proper pillow support. This position improves circulation, reduces strain on the heart, and helps keep the airway open. Avoid stomach sleeping, which compresses arteries in the neck. And avoid sleeping flat on your back if you have sleep apnea. A supportive mattress and pillow are investments that protect your health every single night. The fourth step is avoiding unnecessary sedatives or sleeping pills. If you struggle with insomnia, try natural approaches first. Keep a consistent sleep schedule to reduce screen time an hour before bed. And practice relaxation techniques like deep breathing or meditation. If medication is absolutely necessary, consult your doctor for the lowest effective dose and never mix pills with alcohol. The fifth step is monitoring nighttime blood pressure. Ask your doctor about ambulatory blood pressure monitors or reliable home devices. If your blood pressure tends to rise at night, your doctor may adjust the timing of your medication. Never skip evening doses unless instructed, and keep a log of your readings. By actively monitoring, you catch silent risks before they turn into strokes. The sixth step is creating a safe sleep environment. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. A comfortable environment reduces stress hormones, stabilizes blood pressure, and improves oxygen delivery to the brain. Even small changes like blackout curtains, a cooler room temperature, or white noise machines can help your body rest safely. Finally, the seventh step is listening to your body's signals. Do not ignore morning headaches, dizziness, fatigue, or numbness. These may be subtle warnings that your nighttime habits are harming your brain. Seek medical advice early. Many strokes are preventable if action is taken at the first sign of trouble. Remember, safe sleep is not just about comfort. It is about protecting your most vital organ, your brain, from silent threats that strike in the night. By making these choices, you transform your evenings from risky to restorative. In the final conclusion, I will remind you of the most important lesson from today. Your brain health is in your hands every single night. Conclusion: protecting your brain from nighttime stroke risks. We have reached the end of this journey, and I want to leave you with a message that could save your life. Strokes do not always strike in the middle of the day with obvious warning signs. They can occur silently during the night, triggered by habits that feel harmless or even comforting. Heavy late-night meals, drinking alcohol before bed, sleeping in the wrong position, relying on sedatives, and ignoring high blood pressure may seem unrelated to your brain health. But together, they create the perfect storm for a stroke while you sleep. The tragedy is that many seniors never realize these connections until it is too late. They wake up confused, unable to speak, or unable to move one side of their body, and they wonder how it happened. The truth is that the seeds were planted by choices made the night before. What you do in the hours before bedtime matters just as much as what you eat, drink, and do during the day. Your nighttime routine can either protect your brain or put it at risk. But here is the hopeful truth. Your body still remembers how to heal, and your brain still has the capacity to thrive. By making safer nighttime choices, you can reduce your risk dramatically. Eat lighter in the evening. Avoid alcohol. Choose supportive sleep positions. Limit sedatives. And monitor your blood pressure at night. These are not difficult changes, but they are powerful ones. Each step you take lowers the strain on your heart, stabilizes circulation, and gives your brain the oxygen and nutrients it needs to stay healthy. I have seen patients who made these small adjustments and transformed their health. They slept more peacefully, woke up with more energy, and reduced their stroke risk without needing complicated treatments. That is the message I want you to take with you tonight. Prevention is not about drastic changes. It is about awareness and discipline. It is about understanding that every habit carries consequences, and the right habits can save your life. So as you prepare for sleep tonight, pause and reflect. What habits are quietly harming you? Which safer choices can you begin today? Your brain depends on the decisions you make before closing your eyes. Protect it. Give it the chance to heal, to rest, and to carry you through many more mornings. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which of these habits surprised you the most? And what change will you commit to making tonight? Type 1 in the comments if this video gave you valuable knowledge. Or type 0 if you would like me to improve. Share this video with someone you love, because the life you save may not just be your own. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another health tip made just for you.